Hello and welcome to Clearview Television News. We're reaching you live from Nigeria's capital city, Abuja. In the news, Nigerian police announced arrest of 424 kidnappers in the last 2 months nationwide by operatives of Operation Puff Adder, just as insurgents wreak more havoc on Borno State. Supreme Court faces July 5 for judgment on controversial Osun State governorship election. Sudan's new military junta moves to commence a prosecution of ex-President Omar al-Bashir. I am Rose Audu with the details of these and more. The Supreme Court on Monday faced July 5 to deliver its judgment on the dispute arising from the September 2018 governorship election in Osun State, southwest Nigeria. Clearview TV's Magdalene Michael has an update on the Osun governorship saga.
The People's Democratic Party and its candidate in the said election, Ademola Adeleke, had filed 4 separate appeals before the Apex Court to challenge the decision of the Abuja Division of the Court of Appeal, affirming the All Progressive Congress and its governorship candidate Adegboyega Oyetola as the winner of the poll. A 7-man panel of the Apex Court, led by Acting Chief Justice of Nigeria, Justice Tanko Muhammad, on Monday, heard one of the appeals. The decision in the particular appeal filed by Adeleke is to be binding on 2 other appeals, while the 4th appeal will be heard and a judgment delivered on it separately. The 7-man panel rose after hearing the first appeal on Monday and is expected to conclude the hearing on the remaining appeals. Other members of the panel, led by Justice Muhammad, are Justices Kumai Akas, Kudirat Kekere Ekun, Amiru Senusi, Paul Galinji, and Uwain Abba Aji. At the proceedings, the appellant's lawyer, Dr. Onyechi Ikpeazu-san, urged the Apex Court to uphold his client's appeal, upturn the judgment of the Court of Appeal, and affirm the judgment of the Osun State Governorship Election Petition Tribunal, which had upturned Oyetola's election and declared Adeleke as the true winner of the poll. But Oyetola's lawyer, Chief Wole Olanipekun-san, urged the Apex Court to dismiss the appeal and affirm the judgment of the Court of Appeal. Counsel to the Independent National Electoral Commission, Yusuf Ali San, and that for the APC, Olumide Olujimi, also urged the Apex Court to dismiss the appeal. The appellant abide their appeal challenging the May 9, 2019 majority judgment of the Abuja Division of the Court of Appeal, which affirmed Oyetola's victory at the September 2018 poll. Dissatisfied with INEC's declaration of Oyetola as the winner of the September 2018 governorship election, Adeleke and the PDP had filed a petition praying for an order nullifying the election and declaring them as the winners. By a split decision of 2-1, the 3-man tribunal had, in its verdict delivered on March 22, 2019, nullified the election of Oyetola and his party and declared Adeleke as the duly elected. However, on May 9, 2019, the Court of Appeal, in a 4-1 split decision of its 5-man panel, led by Justice Jumai Sankey, nullified the majority verdict of the tribunal. Justice Sankey, along with 3 other members of the panel, Justice Abakar Yahaya, Isaiah Akeju, and Beatrice Sanga, adopted the majority judgment on the 3 appeals which went in favor of the APC and its candidate. But another member of the panel, Justice George Mbaba, dissented from the majority judgment in the 3 appeals. Justice Mbaba went on to dismiss the 3 appeals filed by Oyetola, the APC, and the Independent National Electoral Commission, and upheld the majority judgment of the tribunal, which declared Adeleke and the PDP as the true winner. Both PDP and Adeleke appealed to the Supreme Court against the majority decision of the Court of Appeal.
Also, the Federal High Court sitting in Lagos has fixed June 19 for continuation of the trial of a senior advocate of Nigeria, Dele Belgore, and a former Minister of National Planning, Abubakar Suleiman, who are both standing trial over a 450 million naira fraud. EFCC slammed them with a 9-count charge bordering on the alleged offense, which they have pleaded not guilty and were granted bail. At Monday's hearing, Rotimi Oyedepo appeared for the prosecution, while Ebun Shofundu and Tayo Oyetibo appeared for the first and second defendants. Oyetibo informed the court that the second defendant was not in court as he had missed his flight to Lagos, adding that same had been communicated to the prosecutor, who told the court that it was not in the character of the second defendant to be away from court, as he had always appeared in court to face his trial, and urged the court to graciously grant a short adjournment. The prosecutor confirmed to the court that he was informed of the position, but said that he would grudgingly concede to the request, adding that since the case was for him to conclude his cross-examination, it should be fixed for Wednesday. Following agreement of parties, Justice Rewan Aikawa adjourned the case until June 19 for continuation of trial by 2 p.m. Belgore, who is a former campaign coordinator of the People's Democratic Party in Kwara State, had concluded his testimony in defense of the allegation on April 12, while the court had adjourned for cross-examination. He had told the court that he was innocent of the charges preferred against him by EFCC, adding that the prosecution pressed charges against him, even though he did not benefit from the 450 million naira, which is the subject of the charge. He had told the court that in his statement to EFCC, he had given detailed information about those who took possession, disbursed and used the said 450 million naira. Belgore had also refuted claims that the money was from a former Minister of Petroleum Resources, Dezeni Alison Madueke. He had said that claims that the money was part of the 23 billion naira allegedly collected by Dezeni and 3 oil marketers ahead of the 2015 general elections were false. A protest by students of Ekiti State University at Ado-Ekiti has forced management to postpone the first semester examinations, which were originally scheduled to begin on Monday, June 17. A statement issued on Sunday night and signed by the registrar of the institution, Akin Aragundede. The new date for the examination is now Monday, July 1. The postponement, according to the statement, is to ensure the security of lives and property on campus and its environs. It further explained that a protest by students of Ekiti State University at Ado-Ekiti forced the management to postpone the first semester examinations, which were originally scheduled to begin on Monday, June 17. The statement, which was signed by the registrar of the institution, Akin Aragunde, said the postponement of the examination is to ensure security of lives and property on the university campus and its environs. The Independent National Electoral Commission wants organizations that are yet to submit their 2019 election observation reports to do so in earnest, in line with their terms of accreditation. INEC Chairman Professor Mahmoud Yakubu says this is to enable the Commission take a global view of all recommendations by the observer missions. As Clearview TV's Anete Patrick now tells us, the Commission made the remarks while receiving the joint report of the International Republican Institute and National Democratic Institute on the 2019 general elections in Abuja this Monday.
The INEC chairman maintained that the report was well timed, coming at a period the electoral body is conducting its own internal reviews. Yakubu assured that the Commission will implement aspects of the recommendations that require administrative action, beginning with the forthcoming governorship elections in Bayelsa and Kogi states, scheduled for 16th November. He further stressed that the Commission would work with other institutions on aspects of the recommendations that require consequential actions beyond its mandate.
Your long-term and continuous presence in the country means that our partnership with you predated the 2019 general elections and will, I am confident, continue to the next general elections and beyond. It is therefore our expectation that your report is all-encompassing with clear recommendations for all institutions involved in the electoral process. Given the size and peculiarities of different parts of the country, it is understandable that no observer group covered every polling unit and collation center throughout the Federation. For the 2019 general elections, the Commission accredited 159 domestic and foreign observer missions, made up of 39 foreign and 120 domestic, which together deployed 73,258 observers.
Speaking earlier, the NDI Senior Advocate for Africa, Chris Fomoyong, and IRR Acting Regional Director for Africa Division, Elizabeth Lewis, said the purpose of their visit was to submit an advanced copy of the Joint Missions report due to be released on Tuesday, June 18th, to INEC. They are optimistic that if the report, which captures findings, analysis of the process and recommendations, is purposefully implemented, Nigeria's electoral process will be further improved.
We will be issuing a final report in a public ceremony that will take place at the Hilton Hotel at 11 a.m. In the morning. It is but normal and courteous that we submit to INEC Nigeria and to the INEC chairman an advanced copy of our report. And that is why we are here this morning, to formally submit to INEC a report that captures our findings, our analysis of the electoral process, and recommendations.
The IRR and IDI, which monitored the general elections on the invitation of INEC, deployed 40 international observers to 16 states of the Federation for the presidential and National Assembly elections, and international observers to 10 states of the Federation for the governorship and state assembly elections. Aniete Patrick, reporting for Clearview Television.
The Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, has promised to identify the members of the National Youth Service Corps that performed creditably well during the 2019 general election and reward them with automatic employment. The Commission also said that the gesture would also be extended to the Corps members that will participate in the Bayelsa and Kogi governorship elections scheduled for November this year. The chairman of the commission, Professor Mahmoud Yakubu, made this known Monday in Abuja during the presentation of the laptop and phone used by the European Election Observation Mission to 75 Corps members who were carefully selected by a panel of NYSC and EU delegation. Speaker of the House of Representatives, Femi Gbajabiamila, has inaugurated 3 ad hoc committees, naming himself chairman of the ad hoc committee on selection. The remaining 2 are the ad hoc committee on welfare chaired by Representatives Wale Raji from Lagos State and the ad hoc committee on media that has Khadijat Bukar Abba Ibrahim from Yobe State as chairman. Inaugurating the ad hoc committees, the Speaker urged all members of the House interested in serving on specific standing committees in which they have competence to submit their CVs for consideration. Gbajabiamila charged the committee members to justify the trust and confidence reposed in them to serve on various steering committees for effective takeoff of legislative activities. He observed that the inauguration of the 3 ad hoc committees is critical to the smooth running the lower chamber. The terms of reference of the ad hoc committee on welfare include allocation of offices and chairs in the lower chambers to all the 360 members, putting into consideration their ranking status. The Speaker further stressed the need for timely conclusion of various assignments ahead of the July 2nd resumption date. Responding on behalf of the Welfare Committee, Representative Achibong assured the Speaker of the resolve of all the members, irrespective of political party affiliations, to work with him to move the National Assembly and Nigeria forward. You're watching Clearview Television News. The news will continue shortly after this timeout. Stay with us.
The Healthcare Plus program in Kogi State was initiated by Governor Yahaya Bello to reduce neonatal and maternal deaths by offering free medical services and commodities to pregnant women from conception through delivery. The program has kicked off and is witnessing immense success as women now take to antenatal care. There have been unique stories from center to center, and we'll share in weekly episodes a few of the most unique cases. Welcome to Healthcare Plus Baby of the Week.
She was referred from Primary Health Center, Jegubeki, to General Hospital, Kotonkafri. Immediately she came, we received her warmly. And as a midwife, I checked her and know that the presentation is abnormal. So immediately I sent for doctor, and doctor came immediately.
Actually, our patient is from Jegu, under Healthcare Plus. She was rushed here. It's a brief presentation of baby in a term. So we went for scan, and it was complete breach. With already in labor, so she was taken to theater. Thank God the outcome was wonderful. A live baby boy went almost 3.8. Today, the mother and the baby is alive, sound and healthy, happy.
Baby was sick too. He said, "I've been sick for me. Funny, picking, land and way. Once it told you me, back over lower me. Èmi àti ọmọ mi a sì wà kò sí problem wọ́n attend mi gidigidi wọ́n ṣe mo dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ wọn o Ọlọ́run ó ràn wọ́n lọ́wọ́ o nurse àti doctor Ọlọ́run ó ràn wọ́n lọ́wọ́ o Ọlọ́run ó dúró tì wọ́n o kò ní padà lẹ́yìn wọn o mo dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ Yàyà Bello mo dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ rẹ o Ọlọ́run ó máa gbé lókè o wájú ní wọn lọ kò ní lu ẹ̀yìn mọ́ o.
In fact, we don't know how to appreciate the government and what they are doing. The Healthcare Plus is actually helping the people of this environment. We are saying, may God give him the strength to continue this wonderful work.
We thank Yaya Bello for this program. And we pray for Yaya Bello to continue with this program till the end of his tenure. And we pray for Yaya Bello to come back for the second time so that he can continue his good job. Thank you.
And that's it on this episode of Healthcare Plus Baby of the Week. Keep a date with us for another exciting episode.
This used to be me. But that was before I got the perfect bag. It's handy and easy to use. All I need in one compact space, just like my MTN Extra Value plan. I used to get one plan for my calls and then try to remember which data plan worked for me. Roaming was a totally different ballgame. Not anymore. I've got the MTN Extra Value all-in-one plan. If you're a data buff like me, you get extra data with some talk time. And if you like to make calls, you get extra talk time with some data. And when I'm abroad, I automatically browse, chat, and call right on the same plan. MTN Extra Value was made just for me.
More of data or calls, whichever one you prefer, MTN Extra Value is made just for you.
Welcome back. The Nigerian police says it has put in place frameworks that will facilitate the strengthening of Operation Puff Adder and ensure the sustenance of its gains. The Inspector General of Police, Mohammed Adamu, made the disclosure at a conference with senior police officers held at the IGP Conference Hall Force Headquarters, Abuja. Magdalene Michael has all the details of the meeting.
The conference is in furtherance of the policy of constantly engaging strategic police commanders to undertake periodic review of internal security situation in the country. The Inspector General of Police, IGP Muhammad Adamu, says the role of policing in preferring pragmatic and far-reaching solutions to crimes in the country is crucial. The IGP says the launch of Operation Puff Adder in all states of the Federation has yielded results.
Sequel to the launch of Operation Puff Adder in all the states of the Federation and other security strategies recently in place to address internal security threats, a total number of 424 kidnappers were arrested within 10th of May 2019 to 14th of June 2019. The highest number of 101 kidnapped suspects were arrested in Kaduna State, followed by Katsina State with 79. 54 suspects were apprehended in Nasarawa State and 32 in Taraba State. In addition, 276 armed robbery suspects were arrested within the same period, with the highest number of 38 in Edo State, followed by 25 in Nasarawa State and 23 in FCT. Similarly, a total of 10,860 ammunition of various descriptions and caliber were recovered, while a total of 301 firearms, including a rocket launcher, AK-47 rifles, pistols, and locally made guns, were similarly recovered from criminal elements across the country, with the highest number of 80 from Katsina State.
While commending well-meaning Nigerians for their constant support, the IGP noted that effective integration of the citizens to internal security will address peculiar communal threats.
We might have taken giant steps against crime and criminality, but the battle is still far from being over. I therefore charge you to sustain the sense of commitment to duty, as it represents a sacred call to national duty. I remain conscious of the challenges across all the commands and formations, and I can assure you that concerted efforts have been made with the support of Mr. President to tackle and bring far-reaching solutions to these challenges. I want to reassure the citizens that the Nigeria Police has in place framework that will facilitate the strengthening of Operation Puff Adder and ensure the sustenance of its gains.
IGP Muhammad Adamu Abubakar, code name Operation Puff Adder, is aimed at predominating and reclaiming the public space from heinous criminal elements that are bent on threatening the nation's internal security and order. Magdalene Michael, reporting for Clearview Television.
30 people were killed late Sunday in a triple suicide bombing in northeast Nigeria. Emergency services reported in an attack bearing the hallmarks of the Boko Haram jihadist group. 3 bombers detonated their explosives outside a hall in Konduga local government, about 38 kilometers from the Borno state capital, Maiduguri, where football fans were watching a match on TV. Head of operations at the State Emergency Management Agency, Usman Kachala, this Monday said the death toll from the attack has so far increased to 30, with over 40 people injured. Kachala said the high number of fatalities was because emergency responders had been unable to reach the site of the blast quickly. Lack of an appropriate health facility to handle such huge emergency situation and the delay in obtaining security clearance to enable us to deploy from Maiduguri in good time led to the high death toll, he said. Boko Haram insurgency has claimed 27,000 lives and forced some 2 million to flee their homes. The violence has spilled into neighboring Niger, Chad and Cameroon, prompting the formation of a regional military coalition to battle the insurgents. The Nigerian Air Force has said its Air Task Force of Operation Lafia Dole has degraded another Boko Haram terrorist hideout in Sambisa Forest, Borno State. Air Commodore Bikunle Daramola, NAF Director of Public Relations and Information, who disclosed this in a statement on Monday in Abuja, said the operation was conducted on Sunday. The operation was executed on June 16 after persistent intelligence, surveillance, and reconnaissance missions revealed the heavy presence of BHTs at the new camp, with several structures hidden under the thick foliage at the forest. Accordingly, the ATF dispatched an Alpha jet to attack the location. Its bombs hit the target area with devastating effects on several of the camouflaged structures, neutralizing their BHT occupants, he said. Daramala said the NAF, operating in concert with surface forces, will sustain efforts to completely degrade the terrorists in the northeast. Millions of children make their way through life. However, most times they are rejected and vulnerable, which is why globally the Day of the African Child is observed. As Nigeria joins in this celebration this Monday, Clearview TV's Busola Oworu was at an event organized by Project Hope Alive for some pupils in Abuja as a way of motivating and inspiring these children. Nanha reports.
To become a farmer is much easier than to become a teacher. More people are now running away from farming. Why? Because it is too hard.
These are children born and raised here in Africa. And the reality is poverty, wars, abuses, trafficking, cultural oppression, and so many other vices make it impossible for these ones to realize their full potential. Hence, the need for a wake-up call is made to all stakeholders concerned so as not to rob these children of their rights. According to 2012 United Nations Convention on the Rights and Protection of Children, children's rights are violated almost every day in Africa, especially the right of children to education. Given the above, Project Hope Alive takes extra measures in celebrating and sensitizing children in Nigeria and to give them hope of a better tomorrow.
Every child is important, and that is the message we brought to them today, the importance of every child, to let them know that they are important to the community, they are important to their family, they are important to the nation, because they are the future. You know, we always hear that children are the future leaders of tomorrow. It's not a cliche, it is a fact, and it is real.
With the consequences of the uneventualities that befall most African children, particularly with UNICEF estimating that in 2012, over 200,000 children work in cocoa farms of Ivory Coast alone. Some children and parents are hopeful of a better Nigeria.
We still need the government to do more for us. The government has been trying to us, has been good to us, but we need him to try more for us again. And we have been thanking him for what he has been doing. He has been keeping all our environment clean, but we need him to try more again for those that haven't had the opportunity.
You can see myself, I'm here to support my child, see other parents have been here to see what they are doing and see what the teachers, what they are doing for us, for our children. They are going to go a long way.
You don't have to be a doctor, you don't have to be a lawyer, but do anything that is lucrative and actually that can add value to your society.
The theme for the celebration is humanitarian aid in Africa. African children's rights first.
African child has been celebrated on June 16th every year since 1991 as a way of honoring those who participated in the Soweto uprising in 1976.
Children participated in various educational and entertaining activities, and winners were awarded prizes for their excellence. Busola Oworu, reporting for Clearview Television.
The African Development Bank has expressed optimism that Nigeria, the largest country on the continent, will soon ratify the Continental Free Trade Area Agreement. The Director, Industrial and Trade Development of AFDB, Dr. Abdul Mokhtar, said this in an interview with newsmen on Sunday. The CFTA was adopted on March 21, 2018, and has presently been ratified by 22 countries. It seeks to create a single market for goods and services and movement of persons to deepen economic integration of the continent, among others. According to Mokhtar, Nigeria is an important country for the CFTA, and for the agreement to be effective, useful, and really worthwhile, Nigeria has to be part of it. He added that information at his disposal indicates that Nigeria will soon conclude consultations with relevant stakeholders with a view to ratifying the agreement. Mokhtar, however, said that the AFDB was working at ensuring the success of the CFTA and had gotten approval from its board of directors to support submission of the CFTA Secretariat. He said the location for the Secretariat was still being deliberated upon by the African Union, adding that the AFDB had already secured the finances to support the Secretariat wherever it was situated. The director said the African Union was aware that establishing the Secretariat as soon as possible was very important, while expressing optimism that it would be concluded by this year. On integrating the continent through trade, Mukhtar said it was important to ensure the right policies were put in place. The Praying Women International Foundation (PWIF) this Sunday gathered at the Good Tidings Bible Church to round up this year's prayer feast tagged Scaling the Heights. Clearview TV's religious affairs correspondent Chinedu Mbatuegu was at the event and now reports.
Praying Women International Foundation (PWIF) is an international organization with its headquarters in Abuja. It serves as a center for the equipping of women who will in turn equip the world. This year's event was tagged Scaling the Heights. In a keynote address, Pastor Bolu Olutayo, President PWFI, harped on the theme Scaling the Heights.
Your real self that cannot be arrested by anything. Your real self that no barricades can block. You know why? Because you, if you are born of God, you are like the wind.
In an interview with Clearview TV, Bolu Olutayo, President PWFI, Buki Jayesimi, a women advocacy initiative speaker, expressed satisfaction on this year's prayer feast.
I wish I could reinvent words to express what happened in this prayer, in this year's prayer feast. I have not found the right word to put it together. It's something I can't describe with any word in English because it was power-packed, unusual, very, very unusual. And you can even feel the atmosphere has changed.
I'm excited that the fallout, the impact, the show of what God has done, how it will begin to unfold in the future. I'm excited about it and I can't wait to see it happening in the lives of the women, the men, and the children.
The Praying Women Foundation, as an organization, says it is out to help emancipate, empower, and equip women to enable them attain great heights in life. Chinedu Mbatuegu reporting for Clearview Television.
You are still watching Clearview Television News. The news will continue shortly after this timeout. Stay with us.
Wow! Ekide ṣe wa gẹ̀gẹ̀dẹ̀dẹ̀ jẹ́ kó máa gbómú wẹ ekide ṣe todúkalẹ̀ kedu kọlọ́yọ́gbá ká àwọn dúgbẹ́dẹ̀ hún àwọn ọmọ àgbàdùfò ọ̀nẹ́kẹ̀lẹ́ polúbulẹ̀ mánike kọ́má alùpùpù gba báyìí alùpùpù kọ ìchíwa ìgalà omikùnà ká ìṣọ́mọ́mẹ́ kúkójanẹ̀ ìgalàdẹ̀ ẹ̀dọ̀míṣẹ̀bọ́kù gbójúlé ìṣọ́mọ́mẹ́ ìgalà lákìlá gòwá ojí tẹlifíṣàn kìdẹ́ lọ́ba ẹ̀kídẹ́rẹ́ máa bínú.
Látòrí ìdárayá ní orí ọ̀dọ̀, látòrí ọ̀dọ̀ olóṣèlú títí dé orí ọ̀hún lọ́balọ́ba àti ìjòyè ya wọn yìí. Ẹ̀kọ́ àti àṣà àti ìṣera. Ètò ẹjáyé ìgbọ́ra ó ti rá láti jẹ́ àmọ́ ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ ní ìṣẹ̀lẹ̀. Ní agbègbè ra àti àyíká ra lílẹ̀ ọkùn. Agbọ́ra, àwòrán níbi ẹ̀tíyàwó ra ẹ̀. Ètò ẹjáyé ìgbọ́ra àti mọ́rin gbogbo níbẹ̀ ṣẹlẹ̀ àwòrán lórí rẹ̀.
Ẹja sọmọ kọ́ ọmọ sọ. Ni ahoime banguni enwome ati sojete banguni iresu amuhi baki epezwe ati ameme worokame da shekura novede ibiraba beva says onini isamuhi oneri odovide kura ame oneri saza esikameni avabani voneva savore diaka iresu ibiraba be TV oneva save of down in jozile sokoko eturonone ibiraba be yafabe inyo ishehun dia novede.
The Healthcare Plus program in Kogi State was initiated by Governor Yahaya Bello to reduce neonatal and maternal deaths by offering free medical services and commodities to pregnant women from conception through delivery. The program has kicked off and is witnessing immense success as women now take to antenatal care. There have been unique stories from center to center, and we'll share in weekly episodes a few of the most unique cases. Welcome to Healthcare Plus Baby of the Week.
She was referred from primary health center Jegubeki to General Hospital Kotonkafri. Immediately she came, we received her warmly, and as a midwife I checked her and know that the presentation is abnormal. So immediately I sent for doctor, and doctor came immediately.
Actually, our patient is from Jegu under Healthcare Plus. She was rushed here. It's a brief presentation of baby in a term. So we went for scan and it was complete breach with already in labor. So she was taken to theater. Thank God the outcome was wonderful. A live baby boy went almost 3.8. Today the mother and the baby is alive, sound and healthy, happy.
Wọ́n gbé mi wá sí kòtò iṣẹ́ abẹ ni wọ́n ṣe fún mi. Wọ́n ní pikin ńláńdà wẹ̀ tán. Wọ́n sì tọ́jú mi. Wọn ò gba kọ́bọ̀ lọ́wọ́ mi. Èmi àti ọmọ mi a sì wà. Kò sí pírọ́blẹ́mù. Wọ́n àtẹ́ǹdì mi gidigidi. Wọ́n ṣe mo dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ wọn o. Ọlọ́run ó ràn wọ́n lọ́wọ́ o. Nọ́ọ̀sì àti dókítà Ọlọ́run ràn wọ́n lọ́wọ́ o. Ọlọ́run ó dúró tì wọ́n o. Kò ní padà lẹ́yìn wọn o. Mo dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ Yàyà Bello. Mo dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ rẹ̀ o. Ọlọ́run ó máa gbé lókè o. Wájúwájú ní wọn lọ o. Kò ní lu ẹ̀yìn mọ́ o. Ó ṣe mo dúpẹ́ o.
In fact, we don't know how to appreciate the government and what they are doing. The Healthcare Plus is actually helping the people of this environment by saying, may God give him the strength to continue this wonderful work.
We thank Yaya Bello for this program, and we pray for Yaya Bello to continue with this program till the end of his tenure, and we pray for Yaya Bello to come back for the second time so that he can continue his good job. Thank you.
And that's it on this episode of Healthcare Plus Baby of the Week. Keep a date with us for another exciting episode.
Welcome back. And on the foreign scene, Egypt's former president Mohamed Morsi, who was ousted by the army in 2013, has died after fainting in a courtroom. A former top figure in the non-banned Islamist movement Muslim Brotherhood, Morsi was in court for a hearing on charges of espionage. He was 67. Morsi was overthrown following mass protests a year after he took office as the country's first democratically elected leader. He had remained in custody since then. After his removal from power, Egyptian authorities launched a crackdown on his supporters and the Muslim Brotherhood. The hearing in the capital, Cairo, was related to charges of espionage emanating from suspected contacts with the Palestinian Islamist group Hamas. According to state television, Morsi was born in the village of El Adwa in the Nile Delta province of Shagia in 1951. He studied engineering at Cairo University in the 1970s before moving to the U.S. to complete a PhD. He was chosen as the Muslim Brotherhood's presidential candidate for the 2012 election after the movement's preferred choice was forced to pull out. After a narrow victory, he promised to head a government for all Egyptians. Sudan's former president Omar al-Bashir has appeared in public for the first time since his overthrow by the military following months of mass protests against his 30-year-long autocratic rule. Dressed in a white robe, and Toban, the toppled leader, was seen on Sunday being escorted on the heavy guard from a maximum security prison in Sudan's capital, Khartoum, to the prosecutor's office, while their prosecutors informed al-Bashir of charges against him bordering on possession of foreign currency and acquiring suspicious and illicit wealth. He was given 1 week to raise objections, questioned on additional unspecified corruption charges, and taken back to Kobar prison. Already, Sudan's acting chief prosecutor, Al-Walid Saeed Ahmed, says if al-Bashir does not appeal, he could appear in court as early as next week. In Khartoum, the moves against the 75-year-old former president triggered derision and skepticism from critics who dismissed it as an attempt by Sudan's new military rulers to deflect attention from a recent bloody crackdown on protesters, as well as its reluctance to cede power to a civilian-led transitional administration. They also questioned the likelihood of al-Bashir receiving a fair trial in Sudan or being held accountable for the most egregious of charges against him. The former leader, who came to power in the coup in 1989, is wanted by the International Criminal Court on charges of crimes against humanity and genocide relating to abuses by Sudanese forces in the country's Darfur region between 2003 and 2008. Instead, al-Bashir's first trial looks set to be on charges of violating a decree he imposed in February as part of an effort to quell anti-government protests sparked by rising food prices and a currency crisis. The Turkish Coast Guard says at least 8 people died early Monday after a boat carrying illegal migrants sank off southwestern Turkey. It said 31 migrants had been rescued after the boat sank off the coast of Bodrum district in Mogla province, and search and rescue efforts are continuing. It was not immediately clear which country or countries the migrants were from. The incident took place a few kilometers from the Greek island of Kos. Turkey is home to over 3 million Syrian refugees and up to 300,000 Iraqis who have fled conflict in their respective countries. Migrants fleeing war and poverty use Turkey as one of the transit countries to try and reach Europe, although the numbers have dropped since the inflows hit a peak in 2015. In 2015, over 1 million people arrived in Greece from Turkey, mostly via boats. During the worst refugee crisis since the Second World War, but the March 2016 deal between Ankara and the European Union helped to staunch the flow. According to EU's border force, Frontiers-wide arrivals on the Greek islands were 875,000 in 2015. The figure fell to under 40,000 per year in 2017 and 2018. The International Organization for Migration says between January and June this year, 555 migrants died attempting to cross the Mediterranean. The figure was 924 last year, but lower than the peak of 2,911 deaths recorded in 2016. And 12 people were killed and dozens more injured on Monday in an Indonesian traffic accident after a passenger tried to wrest control of a bus steering wheel following an argument with the driver. The coach swerved into oncoming traffic on a toll road in West Java, smashing into 2 cars and causing a truck to roll. Police said the accident, which took place at around 1 a.m. local time, involved some 43 people who were injured in the multi-vehicle accident and rushed to the hospital. According to the head of the Majalengka Police Traffic Unit, Atik Sulzwanti, a passenger in the middle of the journey attempted to forcibly take control of the steering wheel and the bus then lost control. He said the bus driver was killed, while the 29-year-old passenger was severely injured. Traffic accidents are common in the Southeast Asian archipelago, while vehicles are often old and poorly maintained and road rules regularly flouted. In September, at least 21 people died when a bus plunged into a ravine in West Java's Sukabumi region. Hong Kong's most prominent student activist Joshua Wong has called for the resignation of the country's leader, Carrie Lam. After walking free from prison, Wong, 22, became the face of the 2014 pro-democracy protests which called for the city to pick its own leaders. People in Hong Kong are again out on the streets, this time against a controversial bill which, if passed by Parliament, would allow extradition to mainland China. China has said it will continue to support Lam. Organizers of the protests say more than 2 million people rallied against the extradition bill on Sunday, despite it being suspended. Police put the figure at 338,000. Critics have said the proposed legislation would expose people in Hong Kong to China's deeply flawed justice system and lead to further erosion of the city's judicial independence. Much of the public anger has been directed at Ms. Lam, who is pro-Beijing, even as she on Sunday apologized for the controversy over the bill. Demonstrators are pushing for the bill to be scrapped completely, for those who jailed during the protest to be freed, and for the resignation of Ms. Lam. And you're still watching Clearview Television News. The news will continue shortly after this timeout.
The Nigerian police force, through the dogged efforts of the Inspector General of Police, IG Mohammed A. Adamu, in a bid to combat the high rate of criminality and criminal elements, kidnappers, domestic offenders, violence, cultism, rape, robbery, amongst so many others, has launched the Police VGS mobile app. The Police VGS mobile app is a web-based dispatch system for quick emergency reporting of incidents by citizens, for the prompt response by the Nigerian police and other emergency and security agencies. Within 5 seconds of reporting, the appropriate government security or emergency agencies will be alerted and help will be deployed immediately. If you find yourself in a situation where your life or the life of another is threatened, such as kidnap, rape, robbery, road accidents, fire incidents, medical emergencies, natural disasters, or any attempt on your life or the life of a fellow Nigerian, all you need to do is to silently swipe the Police VGS app on your mobile phone. Policemen will be alerted immediately and help will be sent your way promptly. This is particularly handy in case of kidnap on the highway, roadside, one chance, or case of robbery or any communal unrest whatsoever. All a victim needs to do is just to swipe the app on a phone, either as a victim or an observer. Policemen will be alerted immediately and help will be deployed for appropriate intervention. Apart from reporting emergencies, the app also has a unique features such as Escort Me. Once this app is activated, the police force and other security agencies will receive the coordinates of the dispatcher of the distress. Either on the highway or within the city, a user can also report incidents, the eyewitness feature on the app. The mobile app is available for all Nigerians on the iOS and the Google Play Store platforms. Android or iOS phone became Police VGS Mobile Reporter. As soon as a subscription to the Police VGS app is made, the Nigerian police will be on hand to attend to incident reporters in a matter of seconds. Swipe to safety. Terms and conditions apply. Always remember, the police is your friend.
Welcome back. And we will now join Tolulope Oguntimeyi as he brings us the latest from the world of sports. Stay tuned.
Uni ahoime banguni enwome ati sojete banguni iresu amuhi baki epezwe ati ameme worokame da shekura novede ibiraba beva sezoni ni isamuhi oneri odobide kura ame oneri saza esikameni avabani voneva sevore diaka iresu ibiraba be TV oneva save of down in jozire sokoko eturonone ibiraba be yavabe dinyo ishehun dia novede.
Hello and welcome to the sporting segment of Clearview Television. I'm Oguntimehin Tolulokpe Oguntimehin. Spain and China played out a goalless draw that ensured both sides progressed to the World Cup last 16 in France. Spain qualified for the knockout stages as Group B runners-up level on 4 points with China, who are guaranteed to finish as a third best loser. Germany sealed their position as group winners, beating South Africa 4-0 earlier today. George Vida's Spain qualified from the Women's World Cup group stages for the first time in their history, having made their tournament debut in 2015. China, who continued their record of having never failed to progress from their group, avoid a potential last 16 encounter with defending champions the United States, but could face England should field Neville's side top Group E. In a game of limited opportunities, Lucia Garcia missed the chance to hand Spain an early advantage in Le Havre as she shot wide from Mariana Cadestry's cross. China rarely threatened but remained defensively sound despite prolific Atletico Madrid striker Geneva Amoso increasing influence as Europeans dominated possession. Last season, Liga Femenina Golden Boot winner Hermoso found herself closed down rapidly throughout, but the 29-year-old arrowed a powerful header towards the bottom corner to draw a fine save from goalkeeper Pen Chimeng 5 minutes before the interval. Nahikari Garcia dragged wide as the second half followed a similar pattern, while Patricia Gujaro had a low shot blocked by Chimeng late on. France forward Kylian Mbappe will 200% still be at Paris Saint-Germain next season, said the club president Nasser Khalifi. Mbappe, 20, has been linked with a move away from Parc des Princes this summer, just a year after his permanent move from Monaco. He also said nobody forced Brazilian forward Neymar to sign for PSG amid rumor he's unhappy at the club. In an interview with France Football, the PSG president said, "I want players proud to wear our jersey, not players who do the job when it suits them." World Cup winner Mbappe scored 39 goals in 43 appearances in all competitions for PSG last season, having played for them the previous season on loan from League One rivals Monaco. He recently said he felt he was at a turning point in his career and it was time to take on more responsibility, and has been linked with moves to Liverpool and Real Madrid. Former Arsenal midfielder Freddie Ljungberg has been appointed as Unai Emery's new assistant first-team coach as part of a change in the coaching staff, the Premier League club announced on Monday. Ljungberg, who returned to Arsenal to coach under 23 side last year, was part of the invisible side that won the North London club's last league title in 2004. Former assistant coach Steve Bould will now lead the under 23 team and work with academy manager Pat Mertesacker to help transition young players to the first team. The changes will come to effect on July 1st. Ljungberg played for Arsenal from 1998 to 2007 and made 325 appearances, scoring 71 goals, and was also named the Premier League Player of the Year in 2001-2002 season. Ljungberg will be tasked with helping Emery guide Arsenal back to the Champions League after the club failed to qualify for Europe's Premier Club competition for the third consecutive season. The new Premier League season begins on August 8th. American Gary Woodland held off the challenge of world number 1 Brooks Koepka to claim his first major victory at the 119th US Open at Pebble Beach. The world number 25 shot a 2 under 69 to win by 3 on 13 under from two-time defending champion Koepka. England's Justin Rose took a share of the lead with a birdie on the first hole on Sunday, but fell away with a 74 to finish on 7 under par. The 38-year-old got number 4, aiming to win the second major of his career after his 2013 US Open success, carded 5 bogeys as he finished tied for third with Spain's John Ram, American Sanders Shoffrey, and Charles Revy. Northern Ireland Rory McIlroy enjoyed a turbulent final day that included double bogeys at the second and fifth 16, but finished with a birdie to climb inside the top 10 at 5 under. Meanwhile, Tiger Woods began the day 11 short off the pace and quickly slipped further down the leaderboard with 4 bogeys in his first 6 holes. The 43-year-old, who won the Masters in April, spanked an impressive recovery as he carded 6 birdies to shoot a 69 and finish 2 under par at the scene of his record 15-shot victory in 2000. And that's it from the sporting segment of Clearview Television. Hamo Gutimeyin to Lulakwa Gutimeyin.
Shot from Tiger. And the Jamaican juggernaut scores his first goal for a professional side.
This used to be me. But that was before I got the perfect bag. It's handy and easy to use. All I need in one compact space, just like my MTN Extra Value plan. I used to get one plan for my calls and then try to remember which data plan worked for me. Roaming was a totally different ballgame. Not anymore. I've got the MTN Extra Value all-in-one plan. If you're a data buff like me, you get extra data with some talk time. And if you like to make calls, you get extra talk time with some data. And when I'm abroad, I automatically browse, chat, and call right on the same plan. MTN Extra Value was made just for me.
More of data or calls, whichever one you prefer. MTN Extra Value is made just for you.
Welcome back. Before we go, another look at our top stories. The Nigerian police says it has put in place frameworks that will facilitate the strengthening of Operation Puff Adder and ensure the sustenance of its gains. The Supreme Court has fixed July 5 for judgment in the suit by the People's Democratic Party challenging the election of Boyega Oyetola as governor of Osun State. Sudan's former president Omar al-Bashir has appeared in public for the first time since his overthrow by the military, following months of mass protest against his 30-year-long autocratic rule. And that's the news. Remember that you can subscribe to our YouTube channel, The Clearview TV. Like us on Facebook, The Clearview Television. Follow us on Twitter at Clearview Online. Follow us on Instagram at ClearviewTV_NG. You can also watch Clearview TV on Nigecomsat with any free-to-air decoder. For details, contact your local installer. I am Rose Audu. Many thanks for watching.